Alright, so today what we're going to do is we're going to make one of my chenille lambs. This is a completed chenille lamb. And it's pretty easy to make. It's just a matter of getting all the materials in order. So what we have here is some oatmeal colored chenille. And I'll show you a scrap here. This is a scrap of the chenille, and I like to buy chenille pieces when I can find them online on eBay, just like about everything else I get. And I like to find the ones that have lines going this way, and not ones with other types of designs, so that it kind of looks more like a sheep when I get done. So what we do is we put right sides together, lay them down together. And I don't know if you can see it very well. I think you can. Let me see what we can see here. All right. If you may have noticed, I have an outline here of the sheep. And I do everything freehand. You can make a template if you're going to make a lot of them, but I'm not making a template. So I just draw a straight line for the back, and I go down the back, make a little hump here for one leg, a straight line for underneath, a little hump here for the next leg, and then come up, kind of curve a little for the neck, and then make a sheep type shaped head and then that's it. Okay. Now once you get that done, you'll cut it out. And thankfully I have my grandmother's scissors here, which are about, I don't know, maybe 40 years old, but it's a really good pair of scissors for only cutting fabric. They sell them today, really good fabric scissors, but you'd have to go to like Joann Fabrics or something like that, and it's going to cost you a lot of money for a good pair of scissors, but any decent fabric scissors should be able to do it. But chenille isn't the easiest to cut through, so you just have to kind of work your way around it as best you can. Okay. Now once you get done doing that, I always put all my chenille scraps over in a corner of my desk, and then you have it cut out. Okay, so here's your little sheep cut out and ready to be sewn. And what I then do is take some felt fabric, and this has a little bit it's got chenille on it from me cutting, but nevertheless it's black fabric, black felt, right sides together, or any side, both sides together. And then I'll usually stop from a corner and cut out the little pieces I need, because when we turn this inside out after it's sewn, we want it to have the black face, which is usual for a primitive sheep, and we want to have the little feet, and we want to have a little tail. So in how we do that, and I happen to have all the little pieces cut out already out of my felt right here. So what we're going to do is, before we sew, we're going to take one side off of our sheep, and we're going to put the little pieces in place. Two pieces, one on top of each other, on top of the right side on the inside of this here. And then we're going to do the same for the feet. We got 2 feet here. Doesn't have to be perfect, just something that, you know, goes around in a half circle. We're going to put these in place here. Put these in place here. And the tail, it has to face inward, so when you put this other piece on top and undo it, it'll go out. So you can't put it out and then sew it, because then it'll go in. So in other words, this is what your inside of your sheep is going to look like before you start sewing it. And what you're going to do with this tail is, once you get to sewing, close to sewing the tail here, you're going to fold the end of that tail in half at the bottom of the tail and put it down. Doesn't matter which way it's facing. Sometimes they face up. This one's facing up, but you'll see when you sew it like that and then you turn it out, you can have the tail's going to have like a little crease right in the center from where it was folded. And you'll see what I mean when I go to sew it and I flip it. So then, you know, that's going to be in half. But you'll do that when you get there close to sewing it, and put this over the top of it. Then I take some pins and I pin everything in place. Make sure that felt stays there. Make sure this felt stays here. just one pin. Make sure this stays here. Just fix those feet again. Down and up through the belt. And for now, we will just get our little tail pinned in place. Alright, next order of business will be when I start showing you how to sew your lamb. And we'll be back for a part 2 on sewing the lamb.